Good evening, everyone. I'm Shelby Tuck Horton. I am the Vice President for Education. And tonight I am really pleased to present to you Tia Robinson. We're excited to have her. She has spoken locally in the Maryland, DC area, but this will be her first time actually speaking on a national level. So we're excited to have her here tonight. She has a fantastic topic. So again, I'm going to ask you to put your questions
Turning the
in
sound
the
off
chat,
slowly.
and I need you to mute your volume, please. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Tia, I am going to turn it over to you.
Hey guys, good evening. My name is Tia Robinson. I am one of the master wedding planners in the Baltimore and DC area. I'm going to talk to you today about navigating the unexpected. So today, full disclosure, this is my first time speaking nationally. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I would like for this to be interactive. So if you want to ask anything before the end and if there's time, feel free to. A little bit about myself. Tia Robinson, who is she? I am a mother of four. I have four amazing boys. Um, Started all over again. So they are 35, 30, soon to be 16 and 5. I'm also mom to two puppies, well, one dog, one puppy, Nala and Naon. We have a new baby as of yesterday. Her name is Diamond. So we have just us three ladies running a house with all of these boys. I am wife of David Robinson, who I've been married to now for 10 years, and mom, daughter, sister, all that good stuff. I have three brothers and two sisters. So let's talk about my topic. Navigating the unexpected. The reason why I can talk to you about this topic is because I have been in the wedding business now for about 25 years. I have owned my business now going on 18 years as of April the 30th. Prior to then, I interned for 5 years. And in between, then I've taken every course available out there, certified with weddings, weddings worldwide. Did courses, of course, through ABC, taken many accreditations with design and different design classes. So I've been basically educating myself for a very, very long time as a wedding planner. I also had a business prior to becoming a wedding planner. I was a calligraphist and I had my own storefront in Mondawmin Mall here in Baltimore City. So I started pretty early on, about 14 years old, with my own business, which was accredited by the city of Baltimore. So I was in high school already owning my own business. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started in the presentation. So navigating the unexpected. Again, I just did my introduction. So the purpose of this discussion is to share insights on managing the unexpected challenges during weddings and events. Most of us wedding planners here have also dibble and dabble in other events outside of wedding planning. So this information can be shared, throughout the industry. I have a short video here.
Hey guys, let's take a hilarious trip down memory lane with Laverne and Dwayne's luxury weddings at the fabulous Four Seasons in Baltimore. Picture this: over 300 guests, vendors struggling to unload their goodies, and chaos that could rival a traffic jam. But hey, that's what happens when you don't have a professional wedding planner on it. Oh, and let's not forget about the monogram floor mat that turned out to be the wrong color. But you know what? Our resourceful vendors decided to channel their inner artist and hand painted gold all over that bad boy. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. And just when you thought that the chaos couldn't get any wackier, we had the bridal party playing hide and go seek, filming photos, groomsmen ducking off with their snacks, bridesmaids chasing butterflies, and the photographer doing acrobats to capture the precious moments. Who needs perfection when you have an epic adventure like this? Laverne and Dwayne's wedding was a roller coaster of surprises, but hey, it made out for one unforgettable night.
So excuse me about my timing. I didn't realize the video was going to start prior to me giving an introduction to it. So basically that video was just giving some insight to a wedding that I had at the Four Seasons Baltimore. And in that wedding, it was over 300 guests. It was a $400,000 wedding. It was chaotic. People were everywhere. It turned out to be beautiful, but no one knows the behind the scenes like we do as wedding planners. No one knows the things that we have to be flexible with. In this particular wedding, I discussed about flexibility because you have to learn to adapt in a situation when you have so many people around, and a lot of us do, large events. You have to adapt just not with your situations that's going on, but with your vendor situations, the hotels when they have multiple events. You have to be able to be flexible at all times. You have to identify and be proactive with risk management. Strategies for identifying potential risks that may arise and create contingency plans. This particular wedding, also, we had a vendor who sent the floor wrap in a different color. The particular client that it was, she is about, well, one, we paid for a particular color, so let's go there. But this particular event, client is dead set for everything matching. So having the floor wrap being a different color would definitely have not gone well with her. So unfortunately, in this event, we had to have the vendors coloring the floor the right color. It was black and we had to get it gold. So they actually hand colored the floor wrap that day and made it gold. Effective communications. Now, one way I probably could have prevented this, again, even though we had color checked everything and the vendor had color checked everything for that particular event, the person who actually did the printing never color checked. So when he printed everything, it appeared to be gold, which parts of it started off gold, but the whole wrap did not finish out gold. So we got to have effective communication during our events. We have to have clear communications among the vendors, the clients, and the wedding party, ensure that everyone is on the same page. We have to have crisis management techniques, insights into handling emergencies calmly and effectively. That whole situation could have went a certain way, as far as getting upset. The bride could have got upset. Everyone handled the situation calmly. And ironically, because we had a relationship with the hotel as well, we had started early enough that that situation didn't even lead to a problem. We had enough time to get everything done. So I'm going to give you some other real life examples and challenges that we faced in our event planning business and how we resolved them in the past. And I'm sorry, guys, I think you see the top part of my screen. I don't know how to get that off. So what does a high profile wedding, bad weather, and a marathon have in common? A chaotic situation for communication. So a lot of times when you're dealing with high profile weddings and some event spaces in general, you may have issues with your communications. Truth be told, right before this particular wedding, we purchased put out a big dollar amount in our communications as far as getting walkie-talkies for our company. I spent a little over $4,000 right before COVID, not realizing COVID was going to hit and thinking that I made the worst decision of my life. But not knowing this was going to be the savior point in a lot of my events to come, because in that event, we could not use any type of cell phones, no GPS, no way to communicate with each other than the walkie-talkies. We had wedding challenges during the event, vendor cancellations, and we all know that when you have a vendor cancel the day of the event, it is serious. Traffic issues because GPS systems were not working because of the Secret Services. So that became an issue because vendors could not get in and out without their GPS. So we had to have some form of communication of getting them directions, because if you don't know where that particular venue place is, or the venue location, it'll be hard to get in and out. Technology played a very important part for us because we were able to use different apps via Wi-Fi to communicate with each other. Google Chat is a good one. We also use WhatsApp, and then GroupMe. So you got to have alternate ways of communication. Collaboration and communication among planners, vendors, and clients is crucial for any event to be successful. I'm sorry.
In here.
Establishing clear communication and channels, and having protocols for when communications may fail in advance is important for your event planning business.
Right there.
So technology utilization. Tools and technology that can aid in planning and executing your events are key to the event day, and having those things readily active. Apps like Weather Channel, WeatherBug, different apps that you can use to have real-time forecasting, real-time forecasts, communication apps, and scheduling tools as well, I find very important, and live updates for guests. So a lot of our CRM apps, we can use those to also communicate not just with each other, but also with the wedding guests as well, which have proven to be very important when you have delays in your event, when you have issues, concerns, emergencies. Your vendor relationships and guest experience. There's importance of having strong relationships with your vendors, where you can call in different favors when something arises, a crisis, emergency. We've had to call vendors in standby. Of course, during COVID and flu season, you have vendors that become ill, and they just can't, for whatever reason, fulfill their assignment. So we have to have people that we can readily dial to fill in those situations. The one thing we don't want to have is an unhappy client. So you want to make sure that you have relationships already built in with other vendors to jump in right away. And you want to make sure the guest experience is a pleasant one. You want a positive experience for all of your guests. So when things don't go wrong, because everything won't always go right, that you can seamlessly move to the next thing. So scenario 2, a New Year's Eve wedding, cold sparklers, confetti cannons, and everything goes boom. So we had a wedding in a hotel, where we were under protocol for everything that we were using. The cold sparklers were perfectly fine to use with the hotel. We had clearance. We also had clearance with the fire marshals for that particular hotel space. The hotel knew we were using cold sparklers, but what we didn't know, and what the hotel didn't know, is that the bridal party was bringing in confetti cannons. Well, the confetti cannons mixed with the cold sparklers caused basically for the fire sprinklers to go off The whole hotel was evacuated. Fortunately, the communication with the hotel, we knew what was going on, but the guests didn't know what was going on, and neither did the bridal party or the bride and groom. So while the whole hotel guests and everyone were outside the hotel, which they probably weren't happy, we were able to continue the wedding without any problem, and everything went off without a hitch. Now, had we gotten the information about those confetti cannons prior to, that could have prevented this situation. However, we were able to move through this without a problem.
So it's the day of the event. I'd have been at U-Haul there for 46 minutes, 48 minutes. Me and Mr. Darby try to work this out. We'd have been through how many trucks, Mr. Darby? 3 trucks? 4 trucks. Fourth truck. Yeah, 1969. It is raining outside, sleeting outside. We inclement weather today. It's an event day, and we still gotta get the storage. We gotta be starting to set up at 5 o'clock. But yeah, these are things that you don't think about the day of an event, that you might be in storage or at, excuse me, getting U-Haul.
You might be stuck.
You might be stuck in U-Haul there. You might not have somebody like Mr. Dirk helping you out, because Mr. Dirk been patient with me. Mr. Dirk been helping me out. I've been trying to get in the trust fund, but he won't let me on the trust fund. But he said he got too many daggone kids. However, Mr. Dirk want to bring it out. So we're gonna go back out here, try this 4th truck. Try to get this truck moved so we can get and get to this birthday party. This the stuff that be happening the day of the event. But see, that means it's time for me to go ahead and get my own truck and start renting these U-Haul trucks. That's all I want. Time to get their own truck, because we be getting trucks every week. So there you go. Lord gonna bring it out.
So that video there was one of my most comical ones when I posted it. I thought it was really funny. But real life situation, a while ago, before we, started trying to get our own vehicles, we rent. We were renting trucks just about every week. Thank God we actually just purchased one, but we rented trucks, and first time for everything, we literally sat in that U-Haul for hours before we were able to get out. It was the middle of a snowstorm. The birthday girl and her parents would not cancel the event. So she said, whatever vendors would come, whatever people would come. The party must go on. So it was real life situation where, there were a lot of obstacles that were in our way that we had to overcome. And we had to plan for it. Thank God we had time again on our side, and we already had a plan. So I have a team of 10 at this time, and we had team members already on set, ready to go. We had team already at the storage unit, ready to pull everything out. They had everything outside on the sidewalk. Some things got wet, but we had systems in play in order to make sure everything was seamless. We started on time, regardless of everything that went on. But again, just having, those communications, being able to work with our vendors, and everyone was set up and in play, ready to go. So when those doors open, even though we didn't have much time to lose, we were able to get everything done. So as they say, it was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You got to understand your landscape, your local challenges, know the area that you in, the hotel, the venue, what's around it, what's going on around it. I told you about the event where the marathon was also going on the same day of the wedding. So we had people that could not get in and out as easily as they thought they would, because the marathon, although it was planned, they did not plan to be in that area. The wedding was in a different area. You got to have an overview of the challenges that you face in your city, weather changes, venue constraints, and the importance of knowing the regulations of the particular space that you're in. You have to have clear communications with your hotel staff, clear communications with the catering manager. That way, you know everything that they expect and what you expect for your event. Have a backup strategy for every aspect. Go over everything prior to what might go wrong. If this person doesn't show up, what do you have intact for that?
Oh, baby, it feels so right. A new beginning starts tonight. The reason for wedding song is because of you and me and sweet love. Finally, finally, show me you're my sweet love. I got the sweetest love. Baby, got this sweet love. You got the sweetest love. And I can give it. I got the sweet love. Oh, no. I got the sweetest love. Baby, got this sweet love. You got the sweetest love. And I can give it. I got the sweet love. Oh.
How about that? So after every event, we have a post-event reflection. We discuss about things that may have occurred during the event. We encourage each other, and this is not limited just with my team. It also includes the staff or vendors of an event. We encourage the culture of reflection and feedback after each event to learn from experiences to improve on future processes. Find ways to maintain calm and professionalism, share tips on remaining composed under pressure, setting a tone for the team and those that we work with, and find ways to incorporate our personal touches to personalize events and enhance the experience, make it memorable without hiccups. Tools and resources that we tend to use for our events. Of course, every event planner, wedding planner has their handy dandy emergency kit. So, whatever that emergency kit is for you, I find that for me, we analyze after each event things that we may have needed or requested the day of an event that maybe we didn't have an emergency kit and use that to continue to build. We have a basic kit that each one of my team members have in case one person is not around, or let's just say they've used everything out of that part of their kit. So every event we examine what's in our emergency kit. We use our planner, which is my preferred CRM, but it's not the only CRM. You can use Seven Hats, you can use Honeybooks, whatever you prefer. But that's the collaborative site that we use to make things easy for us to go over timelines, the budget, design, collaboration, guest management, and seating. Also, our planner now has the guest experience added to it. So there's ways to communicate with your guests during the event using that as well. Prism, which was used to be all seated, is one that we've used in the past. We don't use it as much now, but it's also great for floor plans and virtual collaboration with the vendors. I always say if I die before I wake, my timeline you will take, because I literally have everything included for each vendor. And it's a booklet that I make up for everyone. We use WeatherBug as our main weather app, but WeatherBug, Weather Channel, they're all good apps for including the forecast, radar maps, weathers, alerts, the air quality. All of that is good to know. Social Tables is a good resource for doing 3D designs. So you have an actual 3D effect of how your event space is going to look prior, to make sure you have everything spaced according to, and know that everything that you have is going to fit for your venue spacing. We use Candidly and Acuity for our scheduling. And that actually makes the process a little bit easier with our clients as well as our vendors when sending out information. And Lasso has become a lifesaver to me, and that is an app for booking staff. So if I'm short staffed for an event, I can always look up on Lasso and have someone to join us for that day and just pay them to step in for the event. Conclusion. So flexibility and effective communication are key in navigating the unexpected in today's ever challenging event landscape. It's important to have a strategy and a backup for every aspect. Equip yourself to handle any challenges that may come up or arise using technology, CRMs, weather monitoring, and staff resources. Having a strong vendor relationship and well-stocked emergency kit to further bolster the ability to deliver flawless events, no matter what the circumstances. So that's pretty much it. Let's connect if you want to ever get in touch with me. And questions and Q&A.
So Tia, there's, if you all have any questions, please put them in the chat. And there was someone who wanted to know if you do the filming of your videos yourself at the events.
Yes and no. So during my events, I generally will have one of my team members do the video. Then I send it to a gentleman who does, sometimes he'll do the behind the scenes for me if he's available, but when he's not, I just take the videos and pictures, send it to him, and he does my videos for me.
Okay, let's see. There's another question. There was people who liked your videos. And let's see. Doris said, I recently had a wedding and didn't know they had turned off the air for coal sparks and smoke on the cloud. It got hot real quick.
Oh, wow.
Someone, Belinda said you did a great job. And someone said they love Timeline Genius. Do you use that?
I tried Timeline Genius maybe once or twice. I still reverted back to Our Planner. I like the ease of Our Planner and the fact that I could have my other vendors collaborate with me. I wouldn't mind looking back at Timeline Genius again, but Our Planner seems to just had everything in one spot for me.
Can you share another example of a backup strategy for different aspects of the wedding?
What? Backup. I'm not sure what you mean. As
Erin,
far
can
as
you unmute and ask her your question so she understands it?
Yeah, I can. Hi everyone. So you said have a backup strategy for everything, like if, someone doesn't show who's supposed to show. So, I'm trying to, so some
So
things that I know about. Now you know what I mean? Okay.
yeah. So like I said, Lasso was one that I just started using that, has really it's a hiring app. So you have professionals all over that you can hire people to help with catering services. You can hire event assistants. You can literally hire just about anybody on there. But that's an app that has become an asset. Just having a good Rolodex, people still have Rolodexes, but having a good Rolodex of vendors that you can use. And I think being a good person also makes that easy because you have vendors that will step in for you and, you know, not make it difficult or not be an arm and leg. I've had vendors that pull favors for free for clients where there's been a situation that, may have arisen and they just stepped in. I had a vendor
Okay.
who, refused to do a service because the client was doing too much. And had really the client pretty much had requested a lot, required a lot the day of the event that wasn't included. And then so the vendor pulled back a service because of timing, but that was one of those, some you have clients that they want what they want, and for them the must have was the fog. And then the
Mm,
fog was, the lesser of the evils, the time that was spent doing the draping had pretty much gone over, their quote unquote paid service. But for that particular client, the fog meant everything for her first dance. So I respected that vendor's boundaries because he did overwork basically what he was paid for, but I still had to get somebody in the default. So I was able to call another
mm,
vendor, and at the last minute, he lived right in the area. He did the fog for me and didn't even charge the client.
okay,
Just having
all right.
people to
Yeah,
call.
that's good.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen all the time. You can't
No, no.
do the work for free, but in that instance, it was a make or break for that client. So I had to find somebody. If I had to go out there with the fog machine, I was gonna go.
I understand. All right, thank you for sharing.
I think that speaks, Tia, of the importance of having very good vendor planner relationships and building those relationships throughout your business so that when you call on somebody, they are willing to do whatever they can to help you.
Yes.
The other question is Lasso US based or is it also in Canada? Do you know?
A good question. I don't know, but I definitely can check. I just downloaded that app on my phone. So one of caterer that I knew was using it and had suggested it to me, and it was just easy to use it. I downloaded the app and was able to get started right away with it.
So I don't have any more questions. So I want to ask you if there's one great big piece of advice you want to leave with everybody tonight about navigating these uncharted territories of events. Anything you want to leave with them?
For me, it's always evaluating each event. So as I said, at the end of each event, generally the Friday after, if time permits, my team and I sit down, go over the event, things that went great, things that went wrong. Um, how can we do them better? We always discuss what if situations. We do role playing during our meetings. We, discuss how to even handle the difficult clients and the difficult guests because you do have those that are difficult. Um, and just how to be the best person that we can be at all times at events because one is about the client, is about their day. There are no do-overs. You can't get the day back once it's done. So for me, just having a way to crises manage or how expect the unexpected, just determine what things can go up. Going to, courses, education. I always say I'm always educating myself. I'm always taking a course. I'm always jumping on these calls, the Zooms, and just learning from other planners as well, what they have done or things that may have come up in their real life situations. And just having a mental Rolodex or a mental notebook of how I can make things better in the future.
Thank you. Well, I don't have any other questions. So you all, thank you for attending tonight. Our next educational webinar training, I'm sorry, travel is next week, but on April the 16th, we'll have our next educational webinar, and it will be with Shakila Booker, and she is going to talk about admin support or operations. How do you tell the difference? And she is the owner of an executive virtual assistance business. So I know that I'm excited about listening to that because I don't always know the difference. So I look forward to seeing you on April the 16th at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And Tia, thank you very much for tonight for your very informative presentation.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
You're coming on.